talking about their thoughts and getting them out there and having that debate. So it was actually a really good conversation. So right now what we're doing is we're entering these items that you've come up with into the computer. And while we do that, I figure we could hear from the different groups. Just give us a few minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes of what your 3 top goals are and why. So I'll start right here. Who ended up
I
putting
guess
their
I
finger?
was,
Okay.
man, I lost the battle. Okay, we went with our top 3 that we could kind of agree on, we thought were important in the bigger picture. And the number 1 was enhancing connectivity throughout the region to bring us all more together and give us access, an equitable access for all, so that we can move throughout the region and get to the points we need to for work, education, all those. So that was the number 1. And then second, I think we all really agree that economic development is critical, and we came up with support place-based economic development, which would include new development, TODs along your transit network, but it would also kind of take into account one of the ones on the list, like strengthening your downtown districts and your existing educational districts and those. And then the last one was alleviate congestion and improve environmental health, like dealing with ozone and all that. So that was our top 3.
Great. I don't even have to reword these. I love it. You guys did a good, thorough job with your thoughts there. Okay, so we'll move down, I guess, to group 3 that's in the back there. You've got a representative. Great. Perfect.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
I'm kind of low, but I'm loud.
I like that about you.
We came up with 4 points. We have a bonus point for you. If you want to, if you have to, just combine 3 and 4. First point was to identify an equitable system for the ADA community. Guess who stuck that in? And funding and financial responsibility. The system needs to be equitable in all of those respects to everybody in the region. Also, multimodal system that will combine people with transit, buses, pedestrian, auto, high-speed rail, rapid, buses, whatever we come up with. It needs to all be multimodal in that it can combine and get everybody together. The support for economic development. I think everyone in this room probably has that on their list. Everyone in our group mentioned it. This system needs to support the economic development of everyone that contributes to it and everyone that's a part of it. And it has to have support of a broad group of the public and stakeholders.
Very good. And it is interesting that we've had a couple, just in the first 2, we've had equitable come up, and we've also had the economic development piece. So you can start to see you guys are definitely in line in a couple areas. So, okay, great. All right, so the next group represented over here, which looks like, oh, you were in this group over here, right? Okay, so, yeah, there we go. We'll go with you guys.
First of all, we knew that everybody could copy off our list. So we tried to hide it the best we could. One of the things that we put, I know this sounds wacky because we're not trying to be on David Letterman, but we put salesmanship on there. You've got to sell it. If people don't buy it, it's not going to work. You've got to make sure that it works. You can sell it. Obviously, we had the connectivity and quality of life, which they had, a wonderful thing. Economic development from the standpoint of, it's awful nice if somebody says, I want to bring a business to the Oklahoma City area and I'm going to have 10,000 employees. How can you get them to my place efficiently and on time? And we thought the whole idea of this mass transit thing, it's a good area there. But one of the things that we put on here that's devil's advocate thing, you have to change the car culture. Jack and I were in D.C. last week, and we thought about this because we had to be at the Pentagon Friday morning and talk to some guys. And if you've been where the Metro used to stop inside the Pentagon, and then 9/11 happened, so they moved it out. And then a guy went there and shot some people, so they moved it out again. So it's now been moved 3 times since 9/11. And I'm from Midwest City, so I'm thinking of Tinker that way. It has to be liquid. You have to be able to make changes as changes are desired, or as they come up.
Okay, I like that one, so kind of either expandable or
Yeah,
adjustable.
well, and we got in the discussion, we're up there, we're at 5 o'clock, we're on the metro, and here's thousands of people getting off. And we said, gosh, if you're in Midwest City, if you need to go a block, you get in the car and you drive over there.
Right.
The car culture, that,
Right. Yes, I grew up and currently reside in Texas. Sorry for you all, I am south of the Red River.
Oh, we like you right now. Just don't fire back.
Exactly. You'll notice I'm wearing red.
Actually, we love you.
But we have the same car culture, obviously, as well. And there are instances where it has been successful, but I'm definitely very used to working in communities where that is kind of the case, and you have to get used to the fact that you might not get everyone out of their truck, and that's okay. But at least you give people an option. So. All right, where's our last group? Oh, there you go.
I don't know if we're slackers or we're slow. We didn't get it down on paper. So. But I mean, there is a lot of overlap here. The first goal, enhancing connectivity, that seemed to be a no-brainer in our group for sure. We actually also like combining bullets and so get more bullets in there, right? So we actually combined the second and third one to say support local and economic development goals that leverage our downtowns, our educational districts, and our urban centers. So that those are assets that we have, and so how do we make them work towards for economic development? We also sort of amended and appended, we've got a goal here that's off of the 6th bullet, provide for a balanced and equitable, we are concerned about these equity issues as well, provide a balanced and equitable coordinated transportation system, and again, something we've already heard from this group here, that can win community and stakeholder buy-in and political support to sustain funding. So we are very cognizant of the fact that this system that we're creating has to win political support. And then lastly, we had create a sustainable environment for the corridors. I mean, we've got to have something that's going to last for the long term and pays attention to some of the sustainability issues. And so we had 4, which is really like 7 combined. Anyways, you get the picture. There's a lot of overlap though.
You guys do an excellent one like we did. It's a bonus.
Bonus.
All right. Well, it does sound like you guys did kind of hit on some of the same ones, but there were different ideas that came up. So Ian has been madly trying to enter these into the computer so that, as you go through them, you're going to be able to basically vote. So let me explain a little bit about that for you. So you've got these little, what we call clickers, and you'll notice that they've got either a 1 or an A for your first button. Your second will be 2 or a B. We're using A, B, C on ours, so you'll look for those. That's how you'll vote. It will only register your last time you hit it. So, for example, if we ask you a question, which we'll do with our practice question here, if you want to.
This is the most important question of the entire meeting.
All right.
You don't get a vote.
I'm wearing red.
So if you push it 5 times, whatever your 5th thing you push is going to be your final answer.
Okay, so you get to play with this here. Final answers. Looks like we've got 11 responses. How many clickers we got out?
We have an outlier here. She's got 2.
We might need to take up your extras. All right. So,
She told me she was an Aggie, so.
So everybody vote? Are you still deciding? 14
I voted,
responses.
but I'm not sure. Is it supposed to show?
Yeah, you'll see it in the corner.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and push it one more time.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah.
You got it.
All right, let's see who's going to win.
Boom!
Wow.
Yay, we know where we are.
And
All of those icons better not go to Las Vegas.
I think we have a lot of delusional people.
It's Boomer!
I like it. That's our practice question, so you can get used to using this. The next question is, we've actually tried to take all of your thoughts and kind of consolidate them into a number. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to select, click to the next one. So are we ranking them in order?
We're just select what
Okay.
you think are the what did we say, 5?
Top 5. So when you look at this whole list, and I'll read them out to you, so it's that salesmanship or ability to get buy-in on the project, if you will. The importance of changing the car culture and giving people an option. Enhance the quality of life in the region. Enhance regional connectivity and increase equitable access from our team over here. Support economic development and shape growth in the region. Alleviate congestion and improve environmental health as a result of that. That it's multimodal, that it works together as a system. Provide a balanced and coordinated transportation system. That's kind of a combo, huh? Really? The same? Maximize regional participation to maximize funding participation. So that's an interesting thought, is really thinking forward to the funding. That's great, because not everyone thinks about that in their communities as they take this on. And then really the sustainability of the, yeah.
How do we rank them on this?
Push. It doesn't matter if whatever you push first isn't going to be ranked higher than the other. So just push whatever you think are your top 5, and it'll rank them.
Okay.
Okay. And if you feel like oh, sure, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Make sure your door to the window. But if you feel like you've messed up, then, it'll take your last 5 answers. So if you went through and did your 5 button pushes and you feel like you messed up, then redo them. So.
This D is equitable access. And I've looked at that 5 times.
Well, that's one way to do it.
I won't cheat on this one.
I've got 13. I think we were 14.
Oh, I voted twice.
Oh, she
on
has the
this fall.
14th, yeah, so that's
I'm not
it.
cheating on this one.
Oh,
You said 4 or 5. You did 4 or 5.
I see.
Sure, I'll vote for P, if you have one of those.
I mean, Roy did say I could vote for
Did he give you his proxy?
Okay, so
So
that's
Pam, are you done? Are you good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, I want to make sure, because you were holding a clicker, I just want to make sure you got yours in there. All right, so let's see what the results are. Okay, this is interesting. So it looks like D, which is enhance regional connectivity and increase equitable access, really followed by E, support economic development and shape growth, are really your top 2. Followed by I, which, let's see, G and H together probably, huh, Ian, when you look at them, because they're kind of the same. I'm having to do math in my head. Which is no fun. So I is maximize regional participation to maximize funding participation. So that's really good, because funding is an important part. And then when you combine G and H, if you guys are comfortable with that, I mean, multimodal system and provide a balanced, coordinated transportation system is really, the same thing there. So at least when I look at it that way.
And F for that matter, which was, alleviating congestion was the intention of
Right.
a multimodal.
So, that G and H together, that multimodal system really kind of falls out next. So that would be 1, D, E, G, H, I, and then after that would be C, enhanced quality of life.
Sounds good.
So I want to second what Blair just said about that alleviating congestion and combining that with, I'm a big combiner with multimodal,
Okay.
FG and H. really.
No, I think that we can, if we combine the numbers, so just make sure that we combine those two. So these right here, F, G, and H, you're thinking? Because they kind of go together.
They're all related to a balanced system that gives us options.
It's very true, very true.
Well, many of them are sustainable movements, so it's like,
Right. Right.
Well, if you combined all three of those, if you're just gonna combine with the score, it's gonna be 21, and then the question is that actually the top goal, or is it actually D or E?
Do you want us to combine them? You guys
I
can
don't know,
re-vote?
I don't know, or
We can do
I'm
that.
just saying, if you're gonna stick the numbers on there, of those three, it's gonna go above D and E.
Right, it would
It's
come
not
out.
binding, is it?
And we're not necessarily ranking them,
Right.
they'll end up just being what you have as your
Okay.
goals for the study, so, even though we all like firsts and seconds and thirds.
A and I go together.
So, a lot of these, obviously, when you're working on transit projects or any other type of project, a lot of times some of these can be combined in multiple ways. And what we'll do is we take them and, we'll, basically keep the general breakouts you have, but then, if, for example, the multimodal matches in nicely with the congestion and providing balance, we can make that into a bigger goal statement. So I think with this, what it does is it leans us towards kind of your top 5, and we can look at how those can be combined and bring those back to you. But it really does look like that multimodal piece of it, economic development, making sure the quality of life, that you can sell this because we need the funding aspect of it, and you need people to be able, you want it to be a choice for people to use it. I think that sounds like the goals as you guys have reflected on here. Does that sound good? All right, so our what we are tasked with doing for you all is to take these away as the goals and then start to lay out the specific measurable objectives that go along with them. So we'll come up with a draft of that, then we'll get with, when we go through our first round of public outreach during the stakeholder advisory groups, and we'll work with them on those objectives. You guys are setting the goals, but we'll look to them to help with those objectives to meet your goals. And then we'll bring those back to you and let you see them all. Okay? I think that's it, Doug. I don't know if you or the mayor have any closing remarks.
Doug, no more remarks from you?
Nope.
We still have a few minutes if there's anybody that has something they'd like to say.
Well, I'd like to bring up something, and again, I wasn't fully participating in RTD 1. But in our group at least, we talked about what we're lacking now is connection to the airport. And I don't know if and when that was discovered, or, because really, think about that, of all 3 of those then connected out to the airport, what a connection that would be. Because they're limited in the number of parking spaces they can build too.
Yeah, that was studied in the fixed guideway study, and not without merit, and not that it couldn't be restudied and revisited again, when we get closer down the line. Very few cities connect their airports. If you look around the country, a lot of them talk about it, but very few get around to do it. Some of them are just now doing it. I think Denver has plans too, and of course Dallas has plans too. But cities that you would have thought would have already connected their airports still haven't connected their airports. I think it's hard to get people inside the city to support funding that largely, or at least 50% of it, may benefit visitors. And that visitor experience is hard to capture on the funding side. And people build their airports a long ways from other things. I think that's another aspect.
It occurred to me again when they were talking about transit dependency. If we are successful in building a population that doesn't have a car, then they are landlocked.
Blair?
Just something somewhat related for the good of the order. On April 3rd, the Institute for Quality Communities is having a great day of speakers come in, including Jeff Speck, who's been very helpful here in Oklahoma City, and Dr. Richard Jackson, who's worked with Designing Healthy Communities, a PBS series. Hopefully, many of you have already received some type of information or invitation, but we'd love to host you. So it's a complimentary conference, generously supported by President Boren and the university, but hope to see you there.
Great. I'm glad y'all are doing that. Any other comments before we adjourn? Yes,
Since Blair had a plug, can I have a plug?
Sorry, go ahead.
I gave the mayor a copy of this. This is the American Society of Civil Engineers Infrastructure Report Card. And this is the Oklahoma Report Card. we rolled this out on February 18th at the legislature. The national report card will be rolled out March 19th, next week. I'll be in DC to do that. I'll be talking to our congressional delegation about it, but I wanted everyone to know about it. In fact, Christy helped us because, you know, engineers aren't the greatest writers, so she put the writing in a good form and made it look very nice. So I think we have these that we can hand out to mayors, council people. In the future, we don't have them here right now.
If you want one, if you'll give me your card, I'll make sure you get one.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor, just one last thing. The next meeting day is on Thursday, May 23rd at 3 o'clock. Please get that on your calendars. We'll send out a reminder, obviously, but please, if you can get that on your calendar as quickly as possible, that'd be great. Thank you.
Don't accidentally run off in your voting unit.
Just leave it on the table.
We're adjourned.
We're bringing you